Folks, what's going on? Hope everyone's doing well. Welcome back to another episode of the pod this week. I've been getting butt fucked at chess online. I've been getting my ass handed to me, dude, by foreign people in countries all around the world. I've been getting my ass handed to me by Indonesians and Irish people and fucking Bolivians. And I was just telling Dilo about it. He asked me what my rating was. His rating is 200 points higher than me on the chess app. You're at 650. You have double the rating that I have at chess. Do you actually take time when you play to think about your moves?
I play a 10-minute one.
So do I, but you take time to consider your moves?
No, I hate, if someone takes too long, I start getting mad.
You go quickly, and you have that rating. I've been getting butt fucked at chess, dude. I was telling you before, anytime I play an Italian guy at chess, I chat shit to him in Italian. I just talk shit in the chat. I call him scostomat. My favorite thing to do is ask a guy like, ma sei di Potenza? Like, are you from Basilicata, bro? I ask him just a really random question, you know? Sei Campo Bassan. They always say no, obviously. If I get one day, I'll say, ew, gross, you know? The odds that I ever get one are so low, but I should start asking, are you from Sütirol? And if he says no, and I'll say, Forza Jannik, sine! That, just, you know, he'll be like, are you from there? I'll say no. I'm just trying to congratulate people from Sütirol, you know, for the accomplishments of one of your guys. Jannik Sinner won the Aussie Open, the first Italian to win a Grand Slam title in like 50 years, and it's a big deal. We debate, is he an Italian man or not? It's a matter of real contention. It's on his passport. He speaks it. I like him. Is he Italian? Does it matter? I can't get over the chess thing. How is your rating 650?
You want to play?
We just cut away for a sec from the intro because Dilo and I wanted to play chess. He killed me, and I think you need new friends. What'd you say?
You gotta win, and I'm like,
you gotta talk into the mic. Sorry. What? I got a win.
You got a win on me, and I'm like,
you beat me 3 games to 1.
I'm ashamed of the win.
Come on, I'm not that bad, dude.
But I see
I'm reckless.
A 350 rating.
I'm reckless. I'm just reckless. I'm fucking reckless. Dude, I think you're autistic. I was telling you before. You were laughing more before when I said it, but I asked you, are you autistic? How do you have a 650 rating? And you said you have friends that are in the thousands. So I think you need new friends.
Maybe.
I think you need new friends. Because I think they're not going to help get you laid. They're not going to play wingman to you. If you have a friend who's got a 1,200 chess rating, he's not helping you get laid, dude. He's going to cover the spread for you, you know, on the weekend if you ask him what his gut's telling him. But there's more to life than just being a fucking Tate stan playing chess. Is that what this is, dude? You like fucking mentally dominating people?
You know, when I play chess is when I'm in exams and I need like a break. Like if I'm studying for exams and I take like a 15-minute break, I just turn to chess.
Anyway, so Dilo kicked my ass at chess, and we got to talking about Jannik Sinner on the pod this week. Is he Austrian? Is he Italian? It's a source of much contention. Somehow we got into Mussolini and Hitler, and it all kind of comes back to Jannik Sinner, and I don't know. Dilo kind of likes Mussolini. Fuck you, beat me at chess. See whose fucking voice is louder on the mic, asshole. Dilo starts talking about Mussolini, and he got me in trouble. He got me fucking talking about history and stuff. We got into it a little bit. 650 to 350 rating difference between the two of us. I mean, you want to come sit in this chair? You want me to go behind the camera? You want to? You should feel like do I?
650 is not that good.
You want to fuck my girlfriend too? Jesus Christ.
650 is not that good.
I'm Sam Adamo, and this is the Bordello. All right, what's going on, folks? Hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to the Bordello. Please subscribe if you're new. Toss a like on the video. I don't remind you guys to do that often enough. Please do that. I don't think it's actually going to help. To be clear, surely it won't do anything, right? The numbers are so low here. I mean, the numbers we're talking are so small. I think it's basically inconsequential. But I'm a person who puts videos on YouTube, and so I feel obliged to say,
like and subscribe.
Thumbs up. Thumbs up. I was on some immigrant shit. On Saturday. Once a year with my girlfriend's family, I help in the killing of a pig. I aid in the sacrificial slaughtering of a pig and the turning of said pig into soppressata. It is the, I guess, sixth year that I have been around for the process. 6th year. And it never ceases to amaze me every time we do it how much consideration goes into the whole process. I get told in January, in the new year, hey, heads up, I spoke to my nonna. We might be doing il maiale this year, next week. She doesn't say this year. I don't know why the implication is we're doing it every year. She doesn't say we're doing the pig this year. We're doing it next week. It's implied. What she'll say, I guess, is, hey, it's that time of year. We're killing it maybe next week. Stand by. I'm like, okay, why don't we just set a date? You know? Does the pig want to have its last rites read to it? You know, does the pig want to see another week? Does it know it's going to die? Why not this weekend? We're thinking of doing it in the next week or two. Why? Why? Just pick a date. You know? The pig is ready to die when you say it's ready to die. You call the shots, you know? And I get told it's probably going to be this weekend. No problem. A few days go by. It's the day before. I go, hey, are we killing a pig tomorrow or what's going on? I need to know. I need to prepare myself. Do I put on my pig clothes? When I went through my wardrobe with my girlfriend a few years ago, we got rid of all my old clothes, and we would look at every piece of clothing I had, and we would have to make a decision. Okay, do we keep this or do we get rid of it? Can you wear this or can you not? Is this stylish or is this not? Can this go with anything that you have or not? Is this a good pair of work pants? You know, is this a good pair of going out pants? Whatever. And then ultimately, the bottom of the barrel was, this is good for the pig. I have a pig drawer. My girlfriend made me a pig drawer because I'm dating an immigrant. She goes, this is the Mayal drawer. This is the pig drawer where you could pick anything from it. Once a year, they make the pig. They kill the pig. They make soppressata once a year. This is for wine making, for tomato sauce making, for killing pigs, and landscaping. It's that drawer. So I'm like, Pete, I got to go into the fucking drawer here. I got to take my outfit out tomorrow. I'm jonesing. What are we doing? She tells me, we're not killing the pig tomorrow. It's too cold to kill the pig. You know how many times I've heard her say, we can't do it. It's too cold to kill the pig. And the communication channels are not direct. They're not between me and the farmer. There are a number of buffers between myself and the farmer. And I'm a guy who needs the information now. I don't like bullshit. I'm a cut the bullshit guy. I'm going to go right to the source and talk to the farmer and say, let me level with you here. Why is it too cold to kill the pig? Will the blood coagulate? Give me a reason. Tell me how it works. How are you killing these cocksuckers? Is it so humane that you take him outside and I don't know, do you take him outside and I don't know, shoot him? You shoot him outside? Is it unsafe to do it in a barn? Is it too cold to go outside? Do you just not want to kill him because it's too cold and you're not up to it? you know? It's too cold to kill the pig. Throw him outside. He'll freeze to death. It's minus 17 degrees. He'll die overnight. It's great. He'll be frozen. He'll be preserved. But alas, nope. Too cold to kill the pig. And I don't know what that really means. And I think she doesn't know what it really means either. Except when I start asking her questions, she eventually gets annoyed and says, "Stop asking so many fucking questions." You know? But I think that's the thing that yields a question. We can't kill the pig. It's too cold to kill the pig. I go, what? What? How the fuck is it too cold to kill a pig? I'll kill a man and it'll be 30 degrees outside. I'll kill a man any day. We can't kill a pig because it's too cold out. It's possible to kill a pig anytime. She's like, yeah, it's what my grandmother told me. All right, well, who told her? Who'd she speak to? She spoke to her brother-in-law. And who did he speak to? He spoke to the farmer. All right, well, can I speak to Tziolu? Doesn't matter what his name is. I don't know why I'm always apprehensive about saying people's names, but it's a fun exercise to improv and whatever, different name. Can I speak to Jannik and ask him, for the farmer's number? I got to get info here. And she's like, no, stop being a freak. Just show up when we tell you to and perform. Just show up and do your thing. We need your hands to turn a machine. And then I'm there and I get shit. I get shit for not doing it properly. I'm like, I'm sorry. Do you want me to go? Fucking just shit talking her uncle across the room, to see who can go the longest without breaking the casing. You ever make sausage?
I've seen my nonna make it.
It's a little excessive to, I think, make sausage with the byproducts of a pig that you just killed. Because soppressat's the best thing that you could possibly make yourself, arguably. You could buy it, but it's never going to be as good as if you make it yourself. And it's kind of the thing that people do. People with an Italian background here tend to make cured meat. They'll buy the stuff and they'll do it themselves. But at that point, if you're going through the whole process, of butchering the pig, removing the fat, grinding it up, seasoning it, just turn all of that meat into soppressat. Give it out like currency. I don't know. They keep certain cuts for other stuff that no one really cares about. You can go to a butcher and just get a little meat for that, and it's still homemade. I don't know. The operation's semi-industrial. They could just, take advantage of the fact that they have this whole setup and only do soppressat, but they don't. They top out at a certain number. They were like fucking footballs, dude. At one point, I made the biggest soppressat I've ever made in my life because I told her aunt, just keep going. Just keep going, to drive her uncle crazy. And I think I drove a wedge in them. I mean, he has high blood pressure. He drinks wine during the day. So it's not good. He looked like he was going to blow a gasket. Like literally. The vein, the coronary arteries in the heart. Just the large artery in the neck. It's like bursting. And he's Calabrese, so he squeals. It's one of those, I can't speak Calabrese, but I can recognize it for sure. How's Catanzaro doing? Speaking of,
they tied Palermo this weekend. They're in 6th or 7th.
Bro,
still in the playoffs.
Cosenza kind of fell off a little bit. We had a good start to the season, but we beat Venezia last week. We're on a 2-game heater here. We're just dogging those northern scumbags, dude. We killed Sütirol, I think, by 1 goal. I think we hammered them 1-0, I think, on the weekend. Or 2-1. I don't remember.
1-0.
It was 1-0. Who scored? Yeah, right. Frabotta scored. Remember that guy who used to play for Juve? Gianluca Frabotta, that really good-looking kid? He does now. He was at Bari, which is bleak as is. And he wasn't playing for them very much, so they sent him to the only other southern team that would take it, which is Cosenza. And by God, he'll play. He'll play for us. He scored a goal on the weekend. It's awesome. But yeah, I don't think I'll ever see them play in Serie A. Every year that they're still in Serie B, I have to pinch myself and say, what the fuck is going on? How do they keep surviving? Cosenza, a lot of people don't probably know this. Some people that listen to the pod might be fans of Calcio. I assume a lot of you are, right? Still a big contingent of who listens it. And if you pay attention to Serie B in the table, you will come across a lot of the same names a lot of the time, so you won't really remember, I think, who's done what year in, year out. But generally, I don't know, if you follow the league a little bit, you might have noticed some trends. And the biggest trend, the one thing you can guarantee right now in Serie B, as long as Cosenza are there, that it's going to be down to the wire and they're going to just narrowly save their asses. Just narrowly save their asses to stay in the league and maintain the same level of money flow coming in for next year. It's just survival existence. That's the whole goal. So they beat Venezia last week, which would have been really cool a year ago. But now it's kind of weird if I still hate on Venezia because they hired a loser once, But yeah, they beat Sütirol on the weekend. That region where Jannik Sinner is from. Very contentious among the Italian-American community as to whether or not Jannik Sinner is Italian. Jannik Sinner won the Aussie Open. He's the first, I think, Italian to win a Grand Slam tournament in like 50 years almost.
Something like that,
Yeah. I thought he might have been the first ever. I mean, I think a dude won in the 70s, which I was unaware of. Before our time, obviously. I'm less offended that Jannik Sinner doesn't have an Italian-sounding name. I'm more offended by the fact he lives in Monaco.
All the tennis players live in Monaco.
Even
Auger-Aliassime, who's from Montreal, lives in Monaco or resides in Monaco. They all reside in Monaco.
That irks me. That just irks me more. It's a sensible move. You've got to go to where you could pay as little tax as possible. And I think there's an ecosystem there where, I don't know, I guess because everyone in Monaco plays tennis. I don't know. A bunch of trainers go there. I mean, it is smart.
Yeah. But it's all the tennis players.
Well, they're all European. All the biggest tennis players in the world are European.
Well, like I said, the one from Montreal resides in Monaco.
But they all should. I'm saying a large, I think a huge chunk of the people that play tennis are in Europe. I mean, it's the heart of the sport. I mean, it's a European sport at heart. I think it is a European sport at heart. And so, yeah, it makes sense that, I guess, the hub where they're all going to live and, try to not evade tax, but avoid tax is going to be in Europe.
I guess because they're traveling. It's not like other sports where they have home games, right? They're traveling the world the whole year round.
Yeah.
So they don't have, one, I guess, residency they can kind of pick where they reside in.
It's not like MMA where you have guys in pockets all over the world that play the sport. I mean, no, it is like MMA in that people from everywhere can, participate and go through whatever organized channels there are in their area until they get ranked and get noticed. And you kind of play for yourself. That is true. You represent yourself. But it's not the same as being affiliated with an MMA gym, for example. Mm-hmm. If tennis was an American sport, they would just go live in the Caribbean. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a very European core to it. Yeah, Monaco's the one that makes sense. Again, it's sensible. Mm-hmm. But it just feels a little
now that I'm thinking
shitty that this guy who reps, a country doesn't actually live there. It's like, yeah, Novak Djokovic, man of the people, man for the Serbs, lives in Monaco.
You know what other sport does it? F1.
Sure, yeah. Another very European vibe of a sport. The sports where Aperol might advertise. The sports where Rolex might advertise. Funny how a lot of the advertisement for F1, I've said before, I'm not an F1 guy on the pod. I'll reiterate, I am not an F1 guy. I can't get up for it.
Did you ever watch the Netflix?
No, I'm afraid that would hook me in. Yeah. So I've not watched Drive to Survive. I haven't seen it. I'm afraid that it would just kind of encapsulate me, and then I'd start wasting time on the weekends watching races in the morning. I find it weird how it's a sport where fans are cheering for a team, but it's a corporate team. It's okay. We're a company who's gonna just buy into the organization, buy a team, hire people, get one guy to be the face of it. Really, it's one guy racing for himself. That's what it is. It's no different than tennis or golf. But you have people, which is fine, by the way. Those sports are interesting. I love MMA. I like fighting. I like watching combat sports. There are guys who I find endearing. There are characters who I like to see succeed. But ultimately, if two guys who I like, two faces, not like one guy's a face and one guy's a heel, one guy's the villain, one guy's the good guy where you're supposed to pull for one. No, it happens regularly that I'll watch a fight where two guys I like are fighting each other and I go, like both of these guys, all right, let's see what happens for the love of the sport. I could respect and appreciate that. What I find weird about F1 is you have a bunch of guys that just refuse to accept that it's a one-man sport because they always talk about how it's a whole team effort where the engineers have more to do with the performance of the car than the actual driving of the car itself. But that's weird for me then. At that point, then just race them manually, right? Race them electronically.
It is.
If the engineering is
it is 80%, I would say, around like 80% the car and then 20% the driver. But then
it's just again, I get it. We got this beautiful machine. Let's see how this cocksucker executes it. Again, I understand how it works. I understand what's interesting about it. But the thing that bugs me the most is it's ultimately an individual sport, and you have a bunch of guys that are pulling for a team, repping team colors. That's crazy. That's crazy to me. It's funny that F1 kind of caters to more like fancy advertisers, but a lot of the people that watch it, I feel like, aren't fancy guys. They're not NASCAR level. Let's not morph them in with Daytona 500 cocksuckers. But yeah, it feels like just a lot of rah men watch it, where it's like guys who like speed, guys who like cars, guys who like mechanics, nerds in that respect, guys who probably also like reading about the history of World War II, which is fine, but that's not Rolex. I've never understood how the brands mesh like that. I don't know if Rolex advertises with F1, but
yeah, they do.
They do? That sounds surprising, but it feels right. It feels right that they do. Moet Chandon, champagne or something, feels like a brand that would advertise with F1, but it doesn't. I don't quite get it. But I guess the European commoner is just so much more tasteful of a guy,
Like they can have the Rolex, but they could also have the Marlboro, on the cars.
Yeah.
Marlboro is more on brand.
Yeah, Marlboro would never advertise with like tennis, because tennis is a little more stuck up. It's a little more of an athletic endeavor, sure. Yeah, that's a good call. Yeah, an F1 driver is supposed to go to the Riviera after the race and light up a fag, type of thing. It's okay when you say it in that context. For some reason, it is a great term, isn't it? He's having a fag in it. Oh, shut up, love, and have a fag with your mother.
With your mother?
Yeah. I'm your mother. Now shut up and have a fag. Stop being so drob. Yeah, I think it's loophole. You could say it. Yeah, what were you were gonna say something before? It's gonna drive me nuts when I'm listening back to it. You had something you wanted to say about like advertising in F1 or in tennis. Anyway, it's fine. Look, man. Look. I think the thing with tennis is, look, I'm not actually aggrieved by the fact that they live in Monaco. I said I'm more aggrieved by the fact he lives in Monaco than I am aggrieved by his name being Jannik. I'm aggrieved by neither, but I'm not aggrieved, equally, right? It's not that I'm aggrieved 0 on both. I'm aggrieved like 0 that his name is Jannik, and maybe like 2 on 10 that he lives in Monaco, as opposed to living in Italy. Because it is a thing where, you're repping Italy. You're an Italian national. I get it. You speak Italian. Great. But you're kind of you're just like a cosmopolitan, countryless European at that point. Anyone that lives in Monaco is a countryless person. No, by definition, I think they actually make you relinquish your citizenship in order to become a Monegasque citizen. Alternatively, I think if you have a certain level of income, I think they'll let you get some kind of permanent residence situation. Probably easier for Europeans, but yeah, People are talking about Jannik Sinner like he's from Naples. That is funny though, you know. Let's not go too crazy here, okay? Like he's Italian, but he is barely Italian, like culturally. He speaks Italian, he reps it, good, great. But it is a little bit funny to see the Italian patriots go full, hey, paisan on him, on this ethnically, Germanic guy whose father's name is, I think, Jens or Hans or something to that effect. I looked it up. It's one or the other. I didn't just pull that out of my ass. I believe it's Jens or Hans. Again, he's from Sütirol. Hans Peter Sinner. Great. Hans Peter Sinner and Pasquale Esposito, 2 countrymen, cut from the same cloth. Calogero Rossi and Hans Peter Sinner, one and the same. Listen, we have borders for a reason. He was born on this side of the border. We claim him. But again, it's not really all that deep. He seems like a good kid. He's a great fucking athlete. But the funny thing I saw after he won in the Italian community in particular were people coming to his defense saying shit to the effect of chi dice che non è italiano probabilmente non, whatever. I don't, these comments defending him, saying anyone saying he's not Italian needs to shut up, basically. And it's like, hey, I haven't seen anyone say he's not Italian. Just so you know, I've only seen like good shit. It's like people are preemptively saying, dude, it's like people were waiting for him to win so they could say, well, because he's from, the autonomous region of Trentino Alto Adige, wherever he's from. Where is he from? Just to be clear. Is he from Trento? Is he from Südtirol?
I think it's the Sütirol region. San Candido.
What's it called?
San Candido.
Where is that located? It's on the Austrian border.
Yeah. Yeah.
So South Tyrol? Südtirol. Okay. Well, anyway. It's almost like because he's from there, and Italians, from Italy, expected the typical ignorance, probably with good, with good reason. They expected the typical ignorance that they'd see from Italian Americans, to say, who is this guy? He's not Italian. I feel like guys were just waiting. Guys in Italy were just waiting to comment shit like, yeah, by the way, not only is he Italian, he's more Italian than you, you're not. And it's like, who are you talking to? Nobody's coming out saying, disavow this guy, But, yeah, he's a great fucking athlete. He beat, who did he beat? Medvedev? Why did we cancel Russia to the extent that we got to pretend that Medvedev's not a Russian?
Doesn't show his flag.
Doesn't show his flag. Yeah. He's a man without a country. I mean, honestly, when you go move to Monaco, you should all just be men without a country. That's what it is. That's what it should be, in my opinion. How weird is it that you just get excited when a guy who comes from the same country as you wins a thing and accomplishes something? He no longer lives there. He has nothing in common with you, I guess. But it's like, so many people are just doing so little with their lives and accomplishing so little that they kind of just enjoy seeing another person accomplish something that they guess they look like or sound like.
It goes back to like just teams in general, sports teams, right?
You're getting it now. Which is why, what are we supposed to do?
Nothing matters?
No. What do we do? What do we do to make it matter? You've been on this pod for almost a year, Dilo.
We gamble?
We gamble. Gambling is the great equalizer. When you gamble, it's fine. When you gamble, it's absolutely, not only is it fine, not only is it acceptable, it's ideal. If you gamble now, you care. And you should care. If you care and you don't gamble, if you just do it for the love of the sport, that's a little insane. You know? Someone, somewhere cried in Italy yesterday when Sinner won. A tennis nerd who thought he'd never see the day. Not a country representing the entire nation, you know? Not a band of footballers of 20 guys, you know, selected from a pool of you know, hundreds, selected from a pool of thousands who you know, are decent enough players, selected from a pool of millions who've ever played soccer. It's one guy who plays tennis, who's barely from Italy. He is, but barely, you know? Like if he was from, you know, 100 kilometers north and he was an Austrian citizen, and because, you know, Italian wouldn't have been taught in school, he wouldn't speak Italian and he would have the same name and look the same, which is to say, like Rocco Siffredi. The most Italian thing about him, by the way, might be his cock. Jannik Sinner. For all I know, I mean, he's a tall guy, but he looks like Rocco Siffredi, the porn star, who you're familiar with.
I'm not.
You don't know what he looks like? Why don't we throw up both of them, one next to the other? We'll see if you concur. I believe you will. But, yeah, it's like, okay, a guy born on this side of the border, one of ours, he's ours, we're claiming him. He won. It's like, hey, man, you know, you're not his family, you know? His family could say, our boy won, but I don't, whatever. You got a picture of the two of them back to back in which maybe, you know, Siffredi is clothed? It doesn't have to be back to back, but
like, what do you mean back to back?
no, but just you could flip between two tabs here. Look at him and look at Sinner. Tell me that's not a similar. Come on. Bro, are you kidding me?
Okay, a little.
No.
I mean, it's like
That's like a 9 on 10 resemblance, man.
I mean, this guy's a lot older.
Well, yeah. He looks like he could be Sinner's father.
I guess.
Pull up. No, there's no way that Sinner's father looks more like Sinner than Rocco Siffredi. Hans-Peter Sinner. Zoom in on him.
No.
Come on, bro.
Not the father.
Come on, dude. Zoom in. Can you zoom in on the father?
Yeah, no, that doesn't look like.
Doesn't look like him at all, man. Is that his mother?
No, that looks like
his sister,
no, that
Maria
looks like
Sharapova. Oh, okay. Jeez,
Yeah.
I was gonna say this is really his fucking. It's like his family looks Eastern European. Sinner looks like he should be fucking on the front lines fighting with the Azov battalion in Ukraine, dude. Well, anyway. Yeah, cool. Looks like Rocco Siffredi. Sütirol. You know, who? This is actually a serious question. This is a stupid question, but it's a real one. Who's more Italian, you or Jannik Sinner?
Jannik Sinner. He grew up.
That's a trick question.
He grew up in Italy.
It's a trick question. Okay, who's more Italian, me or Jannik Sinner? I'm an Italian citizen. You're not. Are you?
No, I'm not.
I'm an Italian citizen. Legally, according to the law, in the eyes of the law, equal. In the eyes of you, who's more Italian?
I still have to say him. He grew up in Italy.
It's a trick question. The answer is neither. The answer is there is no such thing as more Italian. It's a binary thing. It's you are or you are not. And funnily enough, you know what that means? It means that some of the people that say, I'm Italian, you know, I eat bolognese, I'm Italian. Because I'm Italian. I grew up eating this shit. They either are or they aren't. They are right or they're wrong. They're not kind of Italian. No, there is such a thing as kind of Italian, which means influenced by, you know, influenced by whatever you grew up with. There is such a thing as being a little Russian, you know. If your parents are from Russia, but you grew up in Texas, you're kind of Russian, but you can be a little bit. But ultimately, it is kind of a binary. It is a binary. You know what? No, fuck this. I'm going to just come out and say you either are or you aren't. Like Alex Galchenyuk, who we were watching before, okay? We were watching his arrest video from 2 months ago. It was from the summer, but it came out 2 months ago in Arizona. I mean, that guy's Russian. You either are Russian in your soul or you're not. You either are a thing in your soul or you're not. You either are Italian in your soul or you're not. I can't stop watching this video of fucking Galchenyuk's arrest.
He was born in Milwaukee?
He was born in Milwaukee. That's the thing. That's why I'm bringing him up. He's a great example. So Alex Galchenyuk, for those who don't know, is a hockey player who was technically American. He was born in the States, and he's represented the U.S. men's national team. But his father's a Russian. I believe so is his mom. His parents are Russian, but his dad was a hockey player, and they had their children, I guess, in the United States, or at least they had him in the United States. He used to play for the Montreal Canadiens. There were allegations that he did a ton of blow while he was here. He was like a 3rd overall draft pick. He started playing when he was 18. Young girls fell in love with him. He fucked a lot of people. He fucked himself in a lot of ways, and he left. He's been, at a bunch of different teams. He's made a lot of money in his career, but, nowhere near the amount that he, might have expected to make. He was playing in Arizona in the summer. Or he was playing with the Arizona Coyotes, and in the summer he was there during the offseason. He got arrested, blackout drunk, clearly on blow. This is just giving background info for anyone who hasn't seen this video. But I can't stop watching it. It's incredible. He's in the car dropping the N-word. He's saying, I'm a Russian. I'll call Abramovich, motherfucker. We'll get your heart, your liver, cut you up like bolognese sauce. That's the second time I say bolognese in like 2 minutes, but that's a direct quote, almost. It's insane. He's clearly Russian.
He's fluent in Italian.
Is he? Why is that again?
I don't know.
I think his dad played in Italy for a bit. I mean, he's probably not fluent in Italian, but we'll give it to him. He probably speaks better than half the Italians in Montreal. Did his dad play in Italy for a while? He must have. While you pull that up, you're not going to get a video of him speaking Italian, will you?
Just want to see where this come from.
Alex Galchenyuk. Here's an article from 10 years ago. It's incredible how the tide is shifted. An article from the Globe and Mail in 2012. Alex Galchenyuk, international man of mystery. Flash forward 10 years. Alex Galchenyuk, worst human to have ever walked the face of the earth, probably. Is the headline they would run with. Anyway, I mean, this is a long article here that you're trying to extract information from. This is a whole profile they did on him, like when he just, I think, got drafted or was about to get drafted, buddy. You're going to have better looking up his father, directly. But look, man, that guy's Russian in his soul. So, and you know how I know that? Because while he was getting arrested, he kept saying, I'm Russian, motherfucker. And then the day after he got released by the Arizona Coyotes after his arrest, and I think Dewey, his DUI got leaked and went public, he signed for SK St. Petersburg the next day. He's Russian. If he were really American, he wouldn't be able to stomach it. He wouldn't be able to go back to Russia. He wouldn't have jumped the boat that quickly. He would have waited for some other thing to maybe fall into place. And so I would argue, yeah, it's a binary thing. You are a thing or you're not. You are Italian or you're not. So yeah, you're in Brooklyn and your name is Paulie. Your name is Paulie DeVito. I get it. But are you Italian? I don't know. You say you are. They say you're not. One's right, one's wrong. You know what I mean? Am I? I like to think so. I speak the language quite well. I'm well versed, but more importantly, legally, I am a citizen. So yeah, I am. There are people that would say that Mario Balotelli's not Italian. I was caught between saying it like an American, like an Italian there. Mario Balotelli. He's an Italian citizen. There are people in Italy who say, tu non sei proprio italiano. So who's right, who's wrong, What do you got?
Oh, nothing. But yeah, it was his father. It was his father's hockey career in Germany, Italy, and Russia.
How long did he play in Italy for? Can you look him up? What's his name? Well, he's right here. Soviet and Belarusian hockey player Alex Galchenyuk. This guy's so Russian, dude. Galchenyuk is so Russian that even though his father's from Belarus, he claims Russia. Granted, I heard that this is actually a thing that not a lot of people think about, but you know how the Soviet Union, how long was he in Italy? 6 years?
Yeah, something like that.
That's a long time. It's a good ass time. So from the time the kid was like, from the time the kid was like 4 to 8, it's okay, whatever. You go to school in Italian. It's possible the guy speaks it all right. It's probably in the back of his brain somewhere. Kind of like Italian is in the back of the brains of a lot of kids in, in Montreal, and then they just lose it, right? What was I saying? Yeah, there's tons of Russians who left Russia itself, modern day Russia, where Russians lived, to go live in Soviet states of the USSR. The USSR, right, the Soviet Union, was a huge agglomeration of a bunch of like satellite states, kind of independent, but not really independent satellite states. Kind of like, for lack of a better example, kind of like, the UK now with, England, Scotland, and Wales. Countries within the country type of thing. Apparently, like, when Russia added, Kyrgyzstan to the list of republics, there were a bunch of Russians who just went to Kyrgyzstan. Yeah. You ever seen a Kazakhstani person? We've talked about Kazakhstani people before on the pod.
No, I was talking about it with my friends because there's that one fighter. What's his name?
Shavkat Rakhmonov? Yeah, so he looks Kazakhstani.
So we were trying to think, like, what does he look like? So, like...
He's probably a Muslim.
He looks Asian. He looks kind of Muslim.
Kind of Mongolian.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Because you can't... It's just such a mixture of everything.
Well, he's Kazakh. Yeah. He looks Kazakh. That's what they are. They're kind of exactly that. Yes. I think most of them are Muslim. But then I think the Christians in Kazakhstan are just Russians.
Shomurodov.
Yeah, he looks a little more can I say he looks a little Asian? Can I say that?
They have a little like
a hint of Asian. Yeah, they have a little Asian flavor. Now here's the thing, you can tell from their names too. Shavkat, Eldor. These are not Russian names. But they're also Alexis in Kazakhstan. Do you remember Nick Antropov, the hockey player? He played for the Maple Leafs for a while. I think he's a Russian. And he looks it. I mean, look at this guy. That's a Russian guy right there. Yeah. He's from Astana, Kazakhstan. Or wherever the fuck he's from. Some other godless part of the world. Where is he from? Not Kazakhstan. Okay. No, not Astana, I should say. The city with... Is that a mosque? Or is that an Orthodox cathedral? If you go back a couple shots here in this town. Can never tell. A lot of the Eastern Orthodox churches almost look like mosques. They're very close geographically, right? Just same latitude, different altitude. Right? Just a little further north. But yeah, so there's like tons of Russians in Kazakhstan who just move there. And, I guess after the Soviet Union fell, remained in Kazakhstan, remained in Kyrgyzstan, whatever. Some left, but some stayed. And I think a lot of those people grew up feeling like, without an identity in some ways, particularly in those places, because once you get to like Central Asia, I mean, it's a whole different culture to like Ukraine or Belarus, where, can I say they're basically the same? They would, probably be, greatly, they would take great exception to that premise, but for being honest, genetically, very similar people, probably. I love we're just getting into eugenics on this pod and, qualifying you as Italian based on your eugenics. Look, man, here's the thing. Excuse me. Here's the thing, okay? Tipped over the water bottle there. We good? Yeah. Camera's all right? Yeah. Great. Here's the thing. What is being Italian? Is it your 23andMe? Or is it whether you could speak it? Or is it whether you're legally an Italian? Because these are all different like lines we could draw. Because Jannik Sinner is legally Italian. What does his 23andMe say? I don't know. Austriaco. Who gives a shit, right? South Tyrol. It's a Germanic region in Italy. It's, Val d'Aosta is kind of bordering on, there's a little bit, you ever hear them speak Italian? It's a little Frangese. It's a little Frangese, dude. If Corsica were part of Italy, would they be Italian? Legally, yeah. What makes Sardinia Italian? Legality. That's it. Borders. That's it. Having a claim on the land. That's what a country is.
If you got called up,
there's variety.
If you got called up, let's say
don't do it to me.
You're a great soccer player.
Yeah. Sure. Hypothetically, that's...
You get called up to both the Canadian. You have the choice to represent Canada or Italy.
Yeah.
Who are you picking?
Who are you picking?
I don't have an Italian passport.
I mean, yeah, the answer is Italy, obviously,
yeah,
dude.
obviously.
The answer is Italy.
But
What
the
am I? What am I? What am I, dude?
Yeah.
Who do I want to play for? Do I want to fucking play for guys in Saskatchewan, or the people that follow the Canadian men's national team make me want to disavow the sport altogether? Unfortunately.
But on the flip side, a lot of Americans who are Italian, I think, would probably choose the U.S.
Yeah. Well, Dilo, those people have been here a while. They've been on this side for some time. That's what you got to realize. And I've made very conscious efforts as a kid to keep the ties alive. Your identity is... Here's the beautiful thing about being a human. You kind of could just create your own identity. You really can. And a lot of people are. I know a lot of people who are forging their own identity, who are saying I know a lot of people who are saying they're stand-up comics, who are decidedly not stand-up comics. Let me tell you. They're barely doing it. I mean, they go up on stage, but what they're doing is not stand-up comedy. There are a lot of people who have had been doing it for a lot longer than me, but there are local people that have had more things happen for them in stand-up they're not doing stand-up comedy. This is to be honest. There are a lot of people who will, there are a lot of people who say they're an entrepreneur. A lot of people say they're entrepreneurs. They're not entrepreneurs, but they say they're entrepreneurs. You can kind of just pick your identity, the moment, whatever is calling to you. You can reinvent yourself according to your convictions of the moment. And when I was a kid, I developed a really robust Italian personality in elementary school. I don't know why. I think it was because it just came up once. Like, yeah, my grandparents are from Italy. In a French school, mentioned that. No one else really was in that one particular school. And through that, I guess Italy winning the World Cup in 2006 made a little prick out of me, I gotta say. Because I came back to school in grade 4 wearing a Luca Toni jersey on the first day. Because I was like, oh, this is cool. I'm better than you. Croatian kids in school, I'm better than you. You want to be me. I am this, you wish you were this. I grew up with a fucking superiority complex. I grew up with an Italian superiority complex, dude. And because of that, now, listen, I love Canada very much. If it was hockey, it'd be a different matter. That's the thing. I feel a close tie to Canada hockey. I feel a close tie to Italy football. But conversely, playing for Italy hockey would be fucking mental, dude. It'd be fucking awesome, Defecting back to, where your family's from. Yeah, that's what a lot of countries' hockey teams is, by the way. It's just whichever countries has the most Canadians tends to do well. Like the Greek national team is not good, but it's a lot better than the Georgian national team.
I have a friend who got called up to the Italian lacrosse
team.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, he's playing for the Italian lacrosse team. Lives here. He doesn't have an Italian passport.
No.
Has a French last name.
Yeah. No kidding.
But
how do they find him?
I don't know. I guess he got scouted or I don't know.
They just have these like freaks, dude, that go around these arenas that lacrosse is played in, and they just get like swabs they get like swabs in the shower. They get like DNA samples and run DNA samples to see who's got Italian blood. And they just got to hunt down that strand of hair. Who the fuck is playing lacrosse that has Italian lineage? I played one season of lacrosse, dude. I stuck with it.
I played
I
two practices.
Oh, and then you couldn't make it out. Why? Too small?
No, I just didn't like it.
Too savage? Too brutish?
Showed up to like first practice. I was like, okay. Then went to the second one again. I don't know. I didn't have any friends on the team. Or
it's a real bro. It's a real frat sport. It's a real frat sport. It wasn't really my vibe.
10 years old.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I played when I was like 15 maybe, so it was 14, 15, so it was full contact. And cross-checking legal, cross-checking to the face. So it's interesting. Yeah, I know a few Italian international ball hockey players. I was telling you, I think once. A few friends who got called up to the junior team. The problem with those tournaments is it got canceled, obviously. It's the thing. It's always a crapshoot whether it's really going to happen. You got to put yourself up. You got to take a Greyhound bus to the tournament. You got to hope that everyone shows up on time. You're not traveling as a team, right? Just show up to fucking, the Czech Republic to, you're going on vacation is what you're doing. You're going on vacation. A lot of these tournaments are not really, they're for the vibes. They're not really all that serious. Yeah, I mean, it'd be lavish to play for the Italian national hockey team, though. I mean, to be fair, there's so many Italians here. The Italian national hockey team fucks. They're pretty good. Like, they're pretty good. Like you watch them play, they're elite. Have you seen the Algerian team play?
No, I haven't.
A guy I used to play soccer with had to leave the season early to go play with the Algerian team. When I tell you, I'd be maybe the best hockey player. If I was from fucking Oran, I'm the best guy, the best Algerian who have ever laced up for them is this guy right here. If that's me. No, really. They can't skate. A lot of these guys can't skate. They play B hockey. They play freaking junior C hockey, dude. Junior B, not good. Not good, dude. It's like a Make-A-Wish thing, dude. It's like borderline Special Olympics. Have you seen hockey at the levels it's dude, have you seen international hockey tournaments for like D-list countries?
I haven't.
Like the Madagascar national team is taking on the Kenyan national team.
Can I look this up?
You could probably look it up, dude. It's bleak. It is bleak, bro. It is not good. Like the Iraqi national team will play like Morocco sometimes. The Penguins of Madagascar. What did you look up?
Madagascar hockey, YouTube.
And you got the Penguins of Madagascar. The cartoon in this. Look up Algeria hockey team. Hockey Algeria. First ever goal in Algerian ice hockey by Hakim Boukaoula. Yeah, he's from Ahunsik, dude. This is men's league. He fell over like Bobby Orr. Siren goes off. It's like some fucking local barn. The Arabic commentary.
Wait, do they have? They have different color helmets.
Yeah, they have different color helmets, dude. Fuck, that's another thing I noticed. Right? Yeah. A lot of those assholes have different color gloves. I was actually looking at pictures of the Greek national hockey team the other day. They got different color gloves, dude. You're just bringing your equipment. You know what's bad, dude? When some of those guys are walking with rolling hockey bags. You just show up to play for Algeria with a Coho bag, fucking iTech bag that you've had for 20 years, and you're rolling it in. Now, the Greek team's probably not bad, dude. You got a couple of, they're not good, but they could play. They could play. Because there are enough Greek people
in Montreal
alone to play for the Greek national team, dude. Yeah. Like two guys from Long Island, one kid from Philly, Yeah, no. Greece is fine. But like once you get to Algeria, you know what it is? There are probably as many Algerians in Montreal as there are Greeks, just none of them play hockey. That's, I think, what it is. I do think the Algerian national team will see a surge in quality in the next 20 years when the Algerians who have been here for one generation have been here for two, and they start picking it up. But soccer is growing here, and more people are playing soccer, and I think fewer people will play hockey. It'll still be huge, but it won't be, a lot of the immigrants will continue to play soccer. Because soccer's growing. They come here already liking the sport, and now soccer's becoming sexier here. So, yeah, there's that. But no, I'd play for Italy, bro. Are you kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me, dude? It's not even close. It's not even close, dude. I hear some of the stuff Mussolini says, and I go, fuck, I wish he got some of the other things right because the stuff he got wrong. Yeah, I get it. Hitler's not a good ally, but fuck, as a little guy, I would hear that and be like, yeah, nice. Italian Italian power, Italian reign, Italian supremacy. Most of the guys who like put an Italian flag up in their gym probably would like Mussolini a little bit. And you know, their only real reason for liking him is their blood. Like, Mussolini probably would have liked them too. Because it was a deeply racial thing. I don't know. Maybe Mussolini, how great would it have been if Mussolini disavowed the ones who left? And he's like, yeah, listen, we're not doing this. What's your name? Tommy DeVito? Yeah, no, we're not doing this. He's like talking about chicken cutlets all the time doing this. Mussolini's like, yeah, you know, we don't have to do a genealogy test on you, brother. Just you know, live your life over there, you know? Yeah, I'm not a Mussolini guy, but you know, maybe can I be honest with you? Like, I believe I'm not going to fight the narrative that he was a bad guy and that he was a problem. I do think like the conquest, the attempts to conquer parts of Africa are, never mind the fact that they're problematic on a human level, they're downright embarrassing because they actually failed. You should listen. Bro, honestly, I'm kind of more disgusted by the fact that Italy failed to conquer Africa than the fact that they tried to conquer Africa.
What did they get? They got
nothing.
No,
they,
but
they got nothing.
There's
nothing.
Arrest.
Eritrea.
Yeah,
Eritrea, Ethiopia, and Libya.
Libya.
I think there was a mandate in Libya for a time. I think the Ethiopian army held off the Italian invasion. I mean, look, as I've said this before, I don't think Italians are a military people. I don't think it's for them. I don't think military. Did you see that video I sent? What?
Not even the cops.
The Italian cops?
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of them are just doing it to drive an Alfa Romeo for the uniform, dude. It's always funny to me in like small towns when you're like from a family of like politicians, local politicians, or like, you know, cops, right? You got cops in the town. We're a respected family in this little fucking shitbox town. You can't marry this farmer. We're cops. I've heard stories about that.
We got pulled over.
How nuts is that?
We got pulled over while we were in Italy, and because we had the directions wrong, so we went around like this roundabout twice.
Yeah.
And the cops saw it, so they pulled us over.
And they thought you were drunk?
No, they thought that we tried to evade them, and that's why we came across, because we didn't have our seatbelts.
Okay.
Yeah, it just made up. They didn't see no seatbelts, but they just said that's why they pulled us over.
Right.
And then just let us go.
And?
Yeah.
And you came to the conclusion there and then that Italians shouldn't be cops?
No, it's just
they should bring down people from Sütirol to be the cops, dude. The cops in Italy, honestly, Sütirol should just be. You want law and order in Italy, dude? You want to get shit done? You want to fucking clean up the streets? Get Sütirol. Get people from Sütirol. Get Jannik Sinner and his cousins to just all become cops. Okay? Okay? Because you're not going to get little fucking Pasquale Esposito from Naples to rep Italy successfully in golf. Okay? You're going to get the super athletes from the fucking Aryan Germanic tribe up there, and you're going to say, look, you're going to rep us on all fronts, okay? We're only going to give you guys Italian names now, but deep down, we know you guys are all Germans. That's fine. You guys are going to rep us in all the sports. Like, you're kind of got to go Chinese with it almost. You kind of got to go like the Chinese government, okay? In an effort to, like, beef up, you know, athletic performance in the Olympics, right? For, you know, patriotic purposes and such, we need to go about this thing where you like build an Olympic elite like athletic training facility in the mountains in Sütirol, just south of the Austrian border. You rename all those people, okay? You cradle snatch them at birth, but they've got the German blood in them and everything, right? They've got the German brain, you know? So it's in there somewhere. Like the German shepherd will come out. Okay? The German shepherd will come out. If you train them, they're killers in there. They are trained killers. They're the cops in any given city. The head of police in every major city has to be a guy from Sütirol. Okay? Okay, Marvin Vettori from close to Trento. Now, again, very proud Italian man. I think, you know, Italian name. Again, These are all Italian people, by the way. There's no sliding scale. You rep the flag. You're proud to be Italian. You are great, no problem. But he's from the more Italian part of Trentino Alto Adige, Sütirol. I think Sütirol is much more Germanic than Trentino Alto Adige, to be fair. Bolzano is in Alto Adige, but they speak a little German there, but they speak Italian as well. It's kind of they sing in that weird, like, melodic sing-song way. But yeah, I don't know, man. A lot of good athletes from up there. I think we might need to work that angle a little bit. They rep us. Dude, fuck people from the Sioux. You're going to take people from Sault Ste. Marie and play them with the Italian national team? No. The Austrians, okay? Build a program. Build a program, dude. Whereby, I'm not even kidding you. So few people play hockey that if you just went balls to the wall in Sütirol and got every kid playing hockey there, you got all these little German kids. We'll give them absurd names, too. Southern names, okay? Genoveva, that's the guy's wife. That's Insigne's wife's name. They'll look like Ukrainians, but they'll have like crazy names. Okay, Gian Maria, that's a guy's name. Just biblical names, dude. No Jacopo, no half. Samuele, that's not my name. Doesn't work actually. We gotta go like, fuck. What's a good one? Giuseppe is a good one in terms of biblical names. I'm realizing though there aren't a ton of other like biblical names that work. Yeah, because like Giovanni, Giacomo, Matteo, those are all biblical names, but those aren't Italian enough because those are translated into like every language. It's gotta be Gian Maria's a good one. Gian Maria's a little northern. What's the most Italian name out there? Marcello's okay. Salvatore is a great one, dude. Salvatore Sinner. Salvatore Sinner. Ciao, come stai? Mi chiamo Salvatore. I think that would work. If so we just gotta indoctrinate these people into this athletic cult where all they're doing is getting up and training. And eventually they might upset Slovakia or something, They could overtake Latvia maybe as like the 8th or 9th country that always makes world championships. I would like to see that. Look, man. You got to play for Italy if you feel like a tie to the country, but it is possible to have ties to multiple different places. It is, but repping a country is kind of this really like deeply personal thing. But I think, look, the fun thing about Mussolini, man, is there are a lot of people who say the trains ran on time. That's a classic. Is people will say, listen, not for nothing. Yeah, we had Nazis in our towns, but the trains ran on time. And it's like, great. Let's just get Südtirol, okay, to export all of their people to the rest of Italy so that the trains run on time without the Nazi part. We'll get Germans in Italian society so everything will run great, okay? And it'll be a really, like, proudly patriotic thing where it's like everyone from within the borders intermingles. The Germanic ones and the Arab ones, the Albanian ones, the ethnically Albanian ones, right? Like in Puglia, a lot of them ethnically Albanian. A lot of people in Sicily, ethnically Arabic or Arab. A lot of people up north, ethnically Germanic, Austrian. Maybe that'd be good, integrate all the different little pockets of Italy. You get to benefit from, having Germans around without having to worry about what they're doing at Dachau, without having to worry about the smokestacks, You know, you don't need to fucking live with this cognitive dissonance where you say, yeah, if you look at the smokestacks, actually, you don't have to become a Holocaust denier to be a proud Italian. you know, it's kind of nice. You're not really helping me here. You're going to his Wikipedia page. I mean, what is this? How about this? What about views? Mussolini's views on anti-Semitism and race. This is the big one. This is the real issue here, isn't it? Italian fascism and racism, manifesto of race, Italian racial laws. Yeah, those are kind of those are the problems, aren't they? The problems were, the problem with him was he wasn't like, he was a draw a line in the sand guy, you know? He was a draw line. He wasn't like a, hey, come on in legally. Like Trump's like, come in here legally, become an American, join the party, you know? This guy was more like, no, you don't come here. We come to you. We conquer you and we own you. I'm an adult now. I know that's not good. When I was a kid, can I say when I was, I don't know, 11? You hear about that and you're like, yeah, I wish there was an Italian empire like there was a British empire. Because we just think selfishly, I would like to be a prince. What are you getting here?
Saying that.
Hang on. What's this tone in your voice? It's saying that. Hang on. Is he misunderstood?
Saying that he didn't have a problem with the Jewish people in Italy, and that here, where did I just read that?
Hold the phone.
Mussolini spoke positively about the Jews and the Zionist movement.
There you go. He hated Hamas. He was a Zionist. Well, I mean,
seems like the alliance with Germany was just like
it was a strategic one.
Yeah.
He was a libertarian. He was a listen, mind your own business. I'll let you mind yours. Do you think maybe hang on a second here. Hang on. I don't want to be a conspiracy theorist. But do you think there's a chance that maybe Mussolini was trying to undermine Hitler from the inside? Was he going to backstab him?
Maybe.
I mean, listen, he obviously didn't have convictions that were that strong. He flipped like that. Or the party flipped. I think to be fair, I think they killed Mussolini and then they changed sides. I always love how the story about how they hung Mussolini on a meat hook in Milan. I like the alliteration of it. Mussolini got hung on a meat hook in Milan. He did. They shot him and they hung him on display in Piazza Loreto, I think. And I got a haircut there in 2018. I'm like I'm like this I'm like this fucking white nationalist who's like going back to Bavaria. I went back to the place that like Hitler, that Mussolini got killed to get a haircut to pay reverence. I didn't. The barber was black actually, so we've come a long way. Yeah, look at these pictures here, dude. Upside down on a meat hook, dude, like a fucking prosciutto. They hung, dude. This is how Italian this guy was. This is how Italian this man was. When they killed him, they hung him upside down like a fucking piece of mortadella. Yeah, dude, that's what the pig looked like on the weekend when we killed the pig. You know what doesn't help the case is that a lot of the people that are fans of him have face tattoos. That doesn't really jive well, you know? The one thing that concerns me is that they study it a little more intimately, I think, in schools. And yeah, I know that history is told by, people who have arbitrarily decided what the narrative is. But, it feels like anyone that's, like, well-read in Italy is a little apprehensive about Mussolini. I think it's because of the imperial ambitions. The imperial ambitions are a little scary to some. But not to people who would like to play for the Italian national team, you see. Because they kind of get it. They actually wish Italy conquered more of the world. They're like, yeah, we'd like to. Think about it, dude. You've been gone. Your family's been gone from Italy for 5 generations. You feel Italian. You have an Italian name. How great is it if Italy starts conquering the world? You're like, yeah, you see, I'm with them. Here's what we're going to do, okay? We're going to put a bust up of Mussolini back there. We're going to put a bust up of him. and we're going to put a face tattoo on the bust. Because then it's ironic. Then it's like, we don't really like him. We're making fun of the people that... we're making fun of the people that, we're making fun of the people that like him. I don't know. Would Mussolini be happy that Jannik Sinner won the,
I think so.
You think he'd be happy? Who do you think would be happier that Jannik Sinner won the Aussie Open? Hitler or Mussolini?
Mussolini.
You think Mussolini would be happier than Hitler? Think for a second. Who would claim him harder? I mean, if Jannik Sinner won the Aussie Open back in 1939, that might have kept them apart. They would have fought over him. Hitler and Mussolini in a boardroom just fucking arguing about who he belongs to, drawing different borders. He's ours, he's yours. He's ours, he's yours. I actually, you know what I will do? I will do this. I will actually look into Mussolini a little this week, and I will give a read. Next week, I'm going to Toronto. How great. I'll just get a guest on and be like, all right, listen. Thank you for joining. I've watched 7 documentaries of the last week from conflicting points of view, okay, about Mussolini. Some very much in favor. So it'll be hard to find documentaries in favor. I don't know that those people are making documentaries, to be fair. I think they're just screaming a lot. They're just doing a lot of screaming and storytelling. Maybe he needs better PR. I think Mussolini needs better PR. I think that's what it is, dude. I think I just figured it out. Because all the people that are fans of him, they're not backhanded enough with it. They're too forehanded with it. They talk about him all the time. It's not good to get a tattoo of a guy's name, Duce, Duce. It feels a little cult of personality when you do that.
Did you read this?
Wait, what? I was reading about Mussolini a while back, and he was apparently a very ecologically oriented person. Well, hey, listen. Not an anti-Semite, ecologically conscious.
Finish it.
Sounds like a great guy to me. Mostly it was about Mostly it was about alternative fuels and non-dependence on oil. There was a period where spices were an option for locomotive fuels. So he made the trains run on time? No. Sorry, none of that was true. I just felt like making up the joke. Oh, fuck off, dude. Come on, man. Dilo just tricked me into fucking reading. He almost sold me on Mussolini completely because he had me reading a Reddit post where somebody was saying that he was ecologically oriented as a person, and he made the trains run on time because of the price of spices going down or so. I don't fucking know. Something insane. Before the guy then revealed that it was a joke. And literally, as I'm reading this, I'm like, hey, listen, not an anti-Semite, ecologically conscious. Sounds like a great guy to me. I will say this. The problem with him was that he married the wrong woman. If you're a great guy who's a little bit of a hard ass, okay? If you're a little bit of a hard ass on your son, you're a little bit militant, and you're spying on his phone, okay? But you're paving the way for him in life. You're creating a clear path for him to succeed and have a level of prosperity, albeit within, a system where there are rules which need to be followed. But your wife, the kid's mother, is gassing Jews in the basement. We have a problem. Because you're staying married to her. Listen, that's my wife. That's not me. That's my wife's thing. I love Jews. My wife, not so much. I feel like he chose his enemies poorly. Yeah. I think that's fair to say.
I think that's what he gets a bad rep for is just because he was allied. He had an alliance. He was aligned with Hitler.
And some fucking cucks just can't get over it, huh? Some fucking...
And I guess the fascism part, too.
The fascism part doesn't... The fascism part is not good. It really would be funny, though, if we got like a bust of Mussolini here.
I want to know how the Jews feel about Mussolini.
Probably not that sympathetic to the cause. Imagine if you found out that your grandparents were getting killed en masse, and then a guy was like, yeah, you know what? I'll align with this guy strategically. They'd probably call him a coward.
I just want to see, like, their point of view. Like, what do they think? Like, they don't view him as Hitler. They don't view him as like setting up concentration camps.
Yeah. You think they're coming out saying, "Listen, at least he wasn't Hitler." That's what you think.
I'm just curious as to like what their point of view is.
If I called any of the Jews on my fucking phone right now and I said, "Hey, what's your take on Mussolini? Yay or nay?"
But
I would
feel
suspect.
like they don't know enough either.
Should I inform them? Should I be the one to say, listen, I know you might have heard what you've heard. And I know that the guys that are championing his cause tend to have face tattoos. But hear me out. Hear me out. He was a Zionist. Is it a little ironic that maybe he was a Zionist because he wanted the Jews the fuck out of Europe? I'm just saying we got to investigate a little more before we paint with a broad brush. Maybe I should tell them that. Maybe we should just put a Mussolini bust back here, dude, with a face tattoo. And it'll be like tasteful. It's like artsy. You know? Mussolini bust of his head. So that anyway, first of all, if I ever say anything like a little crazy or like, you know, ironic, but someone doesn't know the pod tone, they see me out of context, they're like, holy shit, is this guy saying what I think he's saying? Is that Mussolini in the background? Just to throw people a loop, you know, for a loop, you know? I don't think my grandfather would be thrilled if there was a fucking bust of Mussolini. I think my dad would be thrilled if there was a bust of Mussolini in his basement. If I move out, I think I might, if I move out this year, I might keep using this as the fucking pod studio. How great would it be if I just fucking tell him, listen, when I'm gone, you got to keep the Mussolini up. The Mussolini stays up all the time. I don't want you taking him down when I come back to pod. I don't want to fucking have to take him out of storage. I want Mussolini up, blessing the space at all times. Just says Duce on the forehead, you know? Then it's tasteful. It's artsy, you know? It says Forza Lazio on his fucking forehead. Maybe a tasteful picture of Mussolini's great-grandson up. It just looks like an inconspicuous picture of a footballer, but the real ones know. We're just winking, kind of like when Trump was winking to the Proud Boys, you know? They would say he would drop a line, you know? He would say he's going to be tough on crime, and he'd wink to the Proud Boys. I don't know. Maybe that's the next step for this pod. Dude, fucking nothing's working, dude. We're still fucking a meager little podcast. Let's just become a full fucking Pro-Mussolini podcast. Let's do it. I was asking you before when we were looking up, like, we had a long little extended interlude here where we were looking up different stories about Mussolini to kind of get to the bottom of him and figure out what the problem was. Where we kind of realized that the consensus is pretty much he was a fascist, which is not the bestest to be, you know. Capitalist, maybe a little better. Yeah, I don't know. What other ists are there? That's about it. I mean, honestly, fascism's not good, but if done tastefully, anyway, it's whatever. Neither here nor there. How about it? Is it fascist to have laws? You know, I don't know the extent to which these laws were for. He wasn't putting people in camps. Anyway, I think fascism gets a bad rap because Hitler ran with it and made it authoritarian. I don't know that Mussolini was totally authoritarian. He might have been. He might have actually been. That's a thing that I'm light on. But anyway, we were trying to get to the bottom of it, Dilo and I, and we were digging up like stories about stuff he did, stuff he failed to do, like disavow the Nazis. You know, that's the big one. That's the big one. That's gonna be, by the way, the thing that keeps him off of this buffet here behind me. You align with Nazis? No, that's where Sam draws the line. Not a fan. Not a fan of people that align with Nazis. To be clear. However, it is interesting. It is funny to still consider. It is funny to consider. Who would be happier that Jannik Sinner won the Aussie Open? We were saying this before. Hitler or Mussolini? You said Mussolini. I think Hitler. I think it's Hitler. Because Hitler was a big fan of the Aryan Germanic guys. And he is, I mean, he's the poster child. I mean, if Hitler was going to pick a vice president, or vice chancellor or whatever, it's Jannik Sinner. In terms of a good-looking kid from Austria, fighting over the... Anyway, the pod's gone a little off the rails. The last little chunk of the political talk that we've devolved into has been a little messy. Some of it might be too hot for the cast. I don't know. That'll be for the Patreon. Follow me at I'm Sam Adamo. Like the podcast. if you're a fan of Mussolini. Subscribe if you enjoyed this podcast, and if, you know, subscribe if you like Dilo, are a deeply closeted Italian elitist. I saw the sparkle in your eye when you asked me if I was going to play for Italy or Canada. If I said Canada, you would have lost a little respect for me, a little bit, right? Probably. Why?
I don't know.
Because you have it in you as well.
Yeah,
a little bit.
I guess.
A little bit. You think it, I say it. I'm out here fucking, you know, taking advantage of the fact that I'm no longer on that 7-a-side soccer team anymore. I no longer need to modulate my, you know, is it any wonder they were worried about the direction I would go? I mean, I should just clip the whole fucking, dude, the whole segment that we're cutting out, we should just take and send to them and say, having a great fucking time on the pod without having to worry about what? I don't know, scaring you guys. Ooh, what's Sam talking about Hitler? I love how I'm doing the exact thing that they were probably afraid I was going to do. What's Sam talking about? Mussolini? Is he crazy? I should just put a Mussolini bust up here, dude, and say, racist podcast, banned from my soccer team because of it. Fuck it. Self-fulfilling prophecy. You want fucking problems? Let's fucking cause problems. Fuck it. Let's put Hitler back here. No. What if I put Hitler back here? Okay. Or he's not back here. He's not on this plate. I have a Hitler statue. Okay. But it's not because I like him. I face fuck it. What if I have a Hitler statue and I face fuck the statue? Just to assert dominance over Hitler. Am I a Nazi sympathizer, or am I like a really progressive person? Am I championing the cause of liberal democracy? You know? I face fuck it like a pocket pussy. I use it as a sex toy. I use it as a, what's that thing? Fleshlight. I use a Hitler fleshlight. A Hitler fleshlight where you could fuck Hitler in the mouth just to get back at the system, dude. You don't have to like him. It's actually great. The people that like him can fuck Hitler because they probably get off on it anyway. Like him, they're probably sexual deviants. The bads that actually like him.
On Amazon.
Listen. I would sell that on the deep web, to be fair.
Hitler
fleshlight. What? Where does it say I can't sell Hitler fleshlight? What's wrong with you? Yeah. So either you love him and you fuck him because you get off on it, or you hate him and you're just like, I hate this guy so much, I need to get back. Kind of like get back at your dad. Being like a girl who wants to get back at her father who said she couldn't fuck a certain guy. You know, Hitler was a bad guy, so we're going to fuck him to disrespect him. Imagine how furious he'd be if he found out that years later people were fucking his face. You know, he'd either be thrilled or really pissed. Thrilled because he was a sexual freak. Freud would say it all comes down to the fact that he never got to lactate or something. Or he never got to nurse, probably. He might just be this, you know, I love how, we were so close to being out of the woods. We said subscribe to the pod. Now we're gonna come out and defend Hitler and say, hold on, maybe he was misunderstood too. If he had just sucked his mom's tits as a kid, it might have all been different. I think he had I don't know, man. I'll say this: there's nothing that could make me ever. It goes without saying, there's nothing that could ever make me like Hitler. But there's a lot that I could learn about him that would make me fascinated, at least, or that would intrigue me. He's an intriguing guy. I do think at least with Mussolini, there's a bit more of a like an argument to have over policy because he never actively participated in any of the bad things going on. The problem is he enabled it, and if you're an enabler, yeah, you're part of the problem. Obviously, okay, it goes without saying. But like Franco in Spain he was around for like 30 years. I mean, that might have just been Mussolini if World War II never happened, you know? You could see Italy being a country where there's just like a dude who never leaves. You could see that, right? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Like this father figure type of thing. Just, I don't know. You could see it. I mean, it wouldn't have lasted forever. Eventually, they would have overruled him. The issue with Mussolini, I think the biggest problem he had was those partisans, those socialists. I guess because Italians complain so much. I don't know. Is it an Italian thing? Maybe it's a societal organizational thing. Like I think in Zimbabwe, there was a fucking dictator for, I don't know how long, 70 years, 60 years. They didn't do anything. I don't know how organized they are down there, respectfully. Maybe they just liked him. I don't know. But, this is just my origin story. We're going to end the pod, but this is my origin story. It's like, hey, maybe I'll plant the seed. Maybe I'll look more into Mussolini. And then I just start going off every week. We pay tribute, dude. Fucking go full Paolo Di Canio. Subscribe to the pod if you're new. Thanks for tuning in. Alla prossima. Ciao. Forza Jannik.